Quality affordable housing in Westchester is at a crisis point. Westchester County has been an increasingly unaffordable region to buy or rent a home or an apartment for decades. It's now clear that it is not just a simple question of supply and demand or the desirability of the region, and especially its school districts. It is several major problems intersecting at once to foment a true regional crisis.
According to the 2019 Westchester County Housing Needs Assessment, there are 846 homeless families, 4,523 severely overburdened households, another 11,703 new housing units needed to keep up with demand, and 199,328 people commuting into Westchester for work. In fact, there are nearly as many people commuting into Westchester for work as there are people commuting out for work each day.
At a time when average home prices have skyrocketed by 10% and demand has similarly increased through a possibly temporary pandemic-related exodus from New York City, the affordability concerns have only gotten worse in the 2 years since the Housing Needs Assessment was published.
The affordable housing crisis is particularly difficult for our workforce, those people who during the pandemic took care of people in nursing homes, group homes for developmental disabilities, in child care, and other vulnerable populations.
I laugh because I have filled out so many applications for housing. It's ridiculous.
While 40% of county residents are housing burdened, 60% of the nonprofit workforce is housing burdened. And when you include direct care staff, essential workers who are primarily people of color and women, that burden goes up to 70%. We can and must do better by the nonprofit workforce.
In order for me to rent an apartment that I can afford, that means I'm going to be living in an apartment where I'm either going to skip paying electricity to buy food, or I'm going to pay bills and not buy food. So I'm in a situation where I really don't know what to do.
Housing accounts for 33.6% of all carbon emissions in the U.S. Between the age of our housing stock in Westchester and the overemphasis on the less energy-efficient single-family home model, we face tremendous challenges in meeting this moment. Some communities remain hostile to common-sense solutions like the widespread adoption of solar panels. Others have a bias against transit-oriented multifamily developments, despite the benefits in terms of increased use of public transportation, revitalized downtown areas, and more energy efficiency.
In my experience, I've seen that it can take a developer who has the very best intentions to build green, affordable housing, millions of dollars in pre-development costs, and it could take years before they receive approval. And that makes it almost impossible to bring development and affordable housing to our area.
The Welcome Home Westchester campaign has allied with a diverse range of stakeholders to create a united front to highlight specific issues in affordable housing and the lack of development, namely the problematic nature of current land use boards.
Through a message of education and not denigration of individuals and land use board members, we believe that a multi-stakeholder campaign can shine a spotlight on the hidden costs of everyday barriers to providing the housing we need and encouraging communities to make a difference and better choices to securing a Westchester that is welcoming to all who wish to live and work here. To shared prosperity.